You said you got it up?
Yeah. You need anything else? You good?
I'm good. I asked because I don't see it up.
That's what she's saying. Look harder, boy.
I'm looking. Oh, man. Break a leg, kid? Is that what it is?
Yeah. One last thing before we get started.
All right, man.
Nope, not that one. Were you in the road today?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. I got one Facebook post up. Let's do the one on our personal pages.
Make, Nissan, model, Rogue, color, dirty.
Black. Dirty.
You know what? I should be putting your phone number in here.
For what?
Because I turn off my cell phone services, so in case for whatever reason they need to call me. But, we'll be fine. All right. Got your shit.
All right.
Airplane mode. Voice memos.
Where are you blowing? Blowing all that shit on me?
Yeah. That sounds about right. I might need to turn this over there just a little bit. Sure. That looks good. And with that, I am ready when you are. Shit, we're starting at 7:59. Damn.
It's 8:03.
Huh?
8:03.
Oh, shit. Oh, well. Way to bust the bubble.
Oh, well.
Can you bust this one?
No.
Oh, fuck. That's 0 for 2.
Live from the landing strip in Houston, Texas. This is a 446th edition of Houston Wrestling Radio. This is Abel.
This is Chris.
I thank you so much for tuning in today, guys. If you're watching us live, feel free to log into your YouTube account. That way you could, chat along with us in the live chat. Say hi, ask us questions, fact check, talk shit, whatever. I'll see it in the old handy-dandy smartphone right here, and I'll try to involve you as best as I can in the show. If you're not watching us live, that's okay. You can still interact with us on Facebook, facebook.com/Houston Wrestling Radio, or on, right here on the YouTube in the comments down below. Break it down.
It's been a minute, bro.
Yeah, it's been a minute, bruv.
How you been?
Good. How about you, bruv?
Tired.
Yeah? Why are you so tired? What you got going on? What made you so tired? Oh.
I am about to be halfway through the 2024 travel challenge.
Mm-hmm.
That I set the goal for myself that I would take one trip every month.
Nine beers, 9 innings, and 9 wieners.
That too.
No, that is. Yeah.
Yeah. So, still recovering from the last one, and I'm about to go to another one. Last one being Double or Nothing, Vegas. I was there for the day. I left here at 6 in the morning. I landed at 8 in the morning Vegas time. Went to the show. At some point, I ended up at MGM Grand for the show. And after that, shit, we're going to start with the review already. I had to leave early from Double or Nothing. I missed the main event because they don't know how to book a 4-hour pay-per-view, let alone a 3-hour pay-per-view. And left early so I could catch the bus to get back to the airport so I can get back home because I flew back that night.
Right.
Double or Nothing was something.
All right.
You
right.
Let the viewers and the listeners know. Did you watch Double or Nothing?
I did not.
God damn it, Bobby!
I didn't get.
You had motives to watch it. You had intentions to watch it. You were asking us where the viewing party was if it wasn't in a theater.
Right.
What was your roadblock? No pun intended. In the end,
I didn't have goddamn air conditioning in my house.
Oh shit.
That's
right. Power outage.
Yeah.
The storm.
Well, no. This was actually from before the storm. This wasn't due to the storm. Our air conditioner was going out right before the storm, and then the storm happened. And the storm didn't really affect our house. So we were just out of AC. So the thought was we were going to leave and go somewhere to go watch it, but we couldn't actually find anywhere to go watch it.
Tom's Watch Bar? No. Dave and Buster's?
We thought about it, but we were also trying to be frugal because since
shit ain't free at Dave and Buster's.
Shit ain't free, and when you don't have an air conditioner at home, you don't want to cook in a hot house. So we were trying to spend our money on like food instead of cooking at home. So we were kind of in a financial pinch, and also that led to the reason why, even though we wound up just going back home, we didn't order the pay-per-view because, goddamn,
it's already hot in the house. Might as well eat each other, right?
What? It's not.
If you know, you know.
Hey, so I didn't want to spend $50-$60, So I figured maybe later we'd figure it out or something or whatever. No, I wound up not watching.
Dang.
Yeah.
You missed a lot, man.
I heard.
What did you hear?
I heard
Tell me what you heard.
I heard that the match with Ospreay was a banger. Should have been semi or main event. It was not. Swerve defended his title successfully. Cool. And the last match should have been, or was, I should say, was the Anarchy in the Arena match. That's the one that you said you pretty much left for, correct? Why did you leave for that match?
I had to. We were already 4 hours deep in the show, bro. And I had a flight to catch because I was leaving that night. Entrances came in, and at that point I was like, man, I can't push it. Let's get out of here. We beat the traffic. We beat the crowd. Walked down about a block and a half, but it's Vegas block, so it's like 20 minutes just to get to our bus and get back to the airport and get out of there. But yeah, man, I wound up watching the match the next morning because I was off that day.
Right.
It was Memorial Day. Yeah, Memorial Day. And bro got set on fire.
Yeah.
Another guy got hung.
No, same guy. No, it was a different guy.
A different guy got hung on the same pay-per-view where Martha Hart came out to announce another year of the Owen Hart tournament. So I missed the sing-along for the final countdown. That's the only thing I regret. But I didn't know it happened in the moment. But damn. I was not entertained with the main event watching it.
After the fact, at home, on the telly.
Yeah, I was like, well, I guess I didn't miss much. we knew someone was going to get set on fire. We knew.
Did you?
I mean, you tease it on the Dynamite before. Homeboy's gonna come on the fucking flamethrower.
Okay.
You think they're gonna set a table on fire or something? I had no idea that there was gonna be a Human Torch. But I'll let go of the sentiments. Ospreay and Strong was a banger of a match. That's almost a prerequisite now. Anything that Ospreay touches turns into gold, even if it's Ned Flanders. I will say though, I'm gonna have a lot of hot takes tonight.
Okay.
And I'm gonna give you the first one.
All right, give it to me, Daddy.
There's one match on that show that exceeded my expectations.
All right.
And that was Mercedes Moné and Willow Nightingale.
Really?
There were a couple of matches before that where I could tell the crowd was fucking dead tired because they you know, when you go to Fogo de Chao and you get the meat sweats, you need a chance to breathe before you can go for round 7.
Right.
And that round 7 was Moné and Nightingale. They had a pretty solid story built up to it. There was definitely people that wanted to see Mercedes win. There was definitely a lot of people there that wanted to see Nightingale win. There was a lot of energy. A lot of their stuff looked stiff. A lot of their stuff looked really good. I don't know if Mercedes if Moné's finisher is something that you could suspend your disbelief on with everyone that she faces.
What is it?
It's like this gory bomb setup, but then she flips them over and either face slams them or flat back slams them. It looked like dog shit when she did it the first time, and it looked like dog shit here. But but the rest of the match was really good. I wish Nightingale would have held it a little more, but what wound up happening afterwards with Statlander turning on, and I was like, all right, we can make this work.
Yeah.
And then the next night, the next episode on Dynamite where they showed that it was Sky Blue that had beat her up, and when they turned the lights on, and she was doing that sex moaning or whatever. It was her. So they had ways to go to make me let the past go. So I was fine. Edge broke his leg. He broke his femur because he didn't know how to do an elbow drop. That's
Aside from Edge breaking his leg, how was that match?
Long. There were a lot of matches that didn't need to go as long as they had to, and there were a couple matches I wish they would have spent a little bit more on. But the biggest overriding issue, and it's been a constant problem with AEW pay-per-views and sometimes on television too, they don't give segments enough time to breathe. Statlander turns on Willow. I need at least 34. If I'm watching it on the telly, I need at least 30 to 45 seconds, maybe a minute, to actually let the announcers react to it and sink in, get views from the audience, get shots of Statlander walking up the ramp, talking trash to Willow with fucking Stokely behind her laughing, you know. She turned on him, and then after that, it's like, and now the next match, blah, 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 blah. And then, like, the next match finished, and something big happens. Like, oh, Gangrel. Oh, the match is finally over. The next match, blah, 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 blah. They don't give anything time for anything to fucking marinate. You don't have a lasting impression of things because you don't have a lasting impression of things. You just have a lasting impression that there were a lot of things. You know what I mean?
All right. It was a 7-layer burrito, basically.
Fuck, dude. And after like the 4th one, you're already shitting. The cage match irked me a bit, and it's for this reason. It's supposed to be a barbed wire steel cage match. Barbed wire on the top, so that nobody should go to the top.
Okay.
So why the fuck did Edge go to the top? And then change his mind mid-flight what he was going to do and broke his fucking leg. Looked like he broke both of them in the moment. It was, it's the tease of them joining Edge, of the rest of House of Black joining Edge and turning on Malachi. Why? Where on television did Edge or Adam Copeland say he's trying to take over the fucking group? Like, we already did this. It didn't work in WWE either. Just okay, a barbed wire steel cage match. So why are the chairs in the cage? Why are the tables in the cage? And I'm starting to get tired of all the ex-WWE guys picking up all these fucking wins. That's another thing that I was thinking about as I was leaving the door. I'm like, man, AEW really is second rate if they're just hiring people from the other company and they're just beating them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm glad I went. You know, the Vegas. It's always fun to go to Vegas. I did put my money where my mouth was, and regardless of the highs and lows of the trip, Ospreay and Strong and Monet and Nightingale. I'm thinking maybe one more match. It's been I've drank since then. Was worth everything. Was worth the trip. Was worth the flight. Was worth the ticket. Was worth sitting down in the section that I was at. And having it been my 5-year anniversary from the first Double or Nothing that I went to, was cool. Will they make it to the 10th one?
We'll see.
we'll see. Yeah.
Dougie, what's up? Thank you.
What up, man?
Thank you for joining us in the live chat. Scott from Scotland.
He tried to make it, and then he said, "You know what? I'm not feeling too good." And I'm like, "You keep your sick ass at home. I ain't trying to get sick. I ain't trying to get sick on the day before I take off."
Damn, you just called him out. He said Swerve versus Cage. Is that good?
Swerve versus Cage?
That's what he said.
Don't think I saw it.
Okay. And then somebody is logged in as Front Row Negative, which I don't know who, because that's like that's like somebody being logged in as Houston Wrestling Radio. So I don't know who that is. I don't know if that's Portia, if it's Aaron, if it's Bacon or Foreman or whoever. But whoever's logged in as Front Row Negative, what's up? All they say is say his name and he.
Well,
appears.
Let's do the Knives Out challenge. I don't think I've ever seen Foreman in the chat.
I don't think I've ever seen Foreman in the chat either.
So it's not Foreman.
Ever.
So it's not Foreman. I like him. I get it.
Yeah.
So it's either Bacon,
okay,
or Aaron.
Not Portia.
No, Portia logs in on her own, and she needs all the attention.
Right.
So it's either Aaron or Bacon.
Aaron or Bacon.
Yeah. We've seen Finn Balor in the chat a couple of times, and that's going back to like La Cocina Studios.
We've seen Aaron in the chat a few times.
Have we?
Yeah. Maybe that is Aaron.
He's got better things to do, though. He's got like D-rated horror movies that he's never seen before that only 5 people have seen, and those are the people that made them.
He's got kids.
He's like he's watching Final Destination 41. That
well, here might be a clue. This is a comment by Front Row Negative. Chris got that blood in, blood out haircut. That sounds like something that an asshole Aaron would say. Yeah. That sounds a little assholery.
Possibly. It's varicose veins, bro. It's been hard. There's one thing I do want to mention, though.
It was good seeing you too, Dougie.
I'll
get to Santa Fe a little while later.
So they announced at the pre-show for the pre-show for Double or Nothing that we're doing the Owen tournament again, but this time the winners of the men's and women's bracket of the tournament get the title shot at All In.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that booking?
AEW needs a Royal Rumble. And by that, I mean not a Royal Rumble match. I mean something yearly that's prestigious, that's established, that will lead into a championship match. Why not this? Why not a Owen Hart Memorial Tournament? Why not?
Yeah, but how many tournaments do AEW have?
This could be the one to rule them all.
For a reference point, Royal Rumble. How many Battle Royals a year do WWE have?
Not very many.
That's what I mean. Like it happens so often already, and then we have this tournament coming up for the world title, but then in front of that, we've got matches to determine participants in a ladder match for a vacant secondary title or tertiary title. TNT, because Edge is, again, one leg down. So, I mean, the matches are good. I mean, we're definitely gonna watch. AEW is still my priority as far as wrestling television goes, even though it's starting to wane a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, you win the Owen Hart Memorial Battle Royal, you get a title shot. It just seems right. It seems a lot better than when like
they got belts.
And those belts went nowhere. Like
they never wore them.
Yeah, they never wore them. Adam Cole and Britt Baker had those fuckers, and what do they do with it? Bupkis. Nothing. Nothing. So, yeah, put stakes on it. Why not?
NXT had a show on Sunday. Battleground.
Whoever Front Row Negative is, they're not letting us know
That's
who
fine.
it is. This is probably Aaron then.
That's fine. It's June. It could be both of them or either of them. It's all right. Plot twist. It's Gwen.
It's Gwen.
Did you watch Battleground last Sunday?
Kinda.
Explain kinda.
It was on. I was up and down into the kitchen cooking, playing on my phone. It was on.
An actual kitchen. This isn't like a double entendre.
No, it was in the kitchen.
In the kitchen. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm aware that it was happening. It was on the big screen.
Did anything happen that you heard that you stopped what you were doing and were like, oh, I need to watch this?
Some of the stuff with Obafemi, when Obafemi was getting like, beat up by like several people, and Obafemi just like fucked them all off. And I was like, all right, cool, that's badass. Good job.
Yeah.
Obafemi. Yeah. The Jordan Grace match, that made me put down the phone for a little bit and watch that. And that was a really good ass match. We did spend the first half of the match saying, she smeared her lipstick or is she bleeding? Oh, we think it's lipstick. Oh, I don't know. Is she bleeding out? I'm not sure. Wound up. She was bleeding.
Yeah.
Her earring got torn off of her ear and tore her earlobe right there, right down the middle. Oof. Boo. Nasty. Yeah. Nasty.
But that payday was nice.
It was.
I bet it was.
Yeah.
It's weird that it was Battleground, that there were two TNA talents main eventing.
Yeah. I think Ethan Page did pretty good. I think that was starting to bring Arnold around a little bit in our group chat
because he hadn't watched TNA.
Yeah,
he doesn't know what Ethan Page is, and AEW had an opportunity, and they just
AEW did not do Ethan Page justice, right? So if your only familiarity with Ethan Page was the AEW version of Ethan Page, then you wouldn't be as excited to see Ethan Page in NXT. Yeah. TNA Ethan Page, fuck, he was great, and this is kind of more of what I was expecting out of Ethan Page in AEW. Mm-hmm. This match was a good showcase of him. Not the best I've ever seen him, but goddamn, it was fucking good.
Too much too soon. He's only there for 2 weeks, and he's already losing in the main event of his first match.
Yeah. I see your point when you first said it in our group chat. It's like, okay, well, what do you do with him now? He made this big splash to come in and get a title shot right from the jump, and then he loses that title shot. Where do you go from there, right? And yeah, I think he should have gotten something a little bit more to help build him before his first match was a main event title shot, right? But I think he still did a good job and had a good showing, and that I still will believe him if there's more to do with him. It's just you're kind of painting yourself into a little bit of a corner booking it this way.
Yeah. It was my fault for missing the one bit of information of the day before where he showed up to Vegas. Ora Mensa jumped in because he was the one jumping everyone backstage, and that entailing everyone was Metaphor. Mm-hmm. And so he was getting some revenge for himself and for Supernova Noam Dar. I wish I would have picked that up before I saw the match instead of watching some of that like in the background. You can have him get his comeuppance, as in Ora Mensa get his comeuppance, and then you can run back Ethan Page as a rematch, maybe by fluke or by some kind of crook win, and keep it going. Again, same thing with NXT. There's not a lot of rivalries, something where you could hang your hat on, where 6 or 9 months of this. You know, it was Mello and Braun for a little bit, and then it was off and on Trick and Ilya, but it was off and on, so it didn't really like have that lasting impression.
It was more a Trick and Carmelo,
and that too for a little bit.
Yeah,
but then so like Carmelo loses to Trick, and then the next night he jumps him again, rematch in the steel cage, and then that's it because Carmelo goes back to. So like they built up to the nice first match, and then the second one's like 2 weeks after, and then after that, that's it. You don't.
Yeah,
that doesn't. I don't think that computes as a rival. At least to me, it doesn't.
Yeah,
I don't think it does.
It's definitely an angle. It's definitely a turn, but I don't think it was a full blown out rivalry.
Hot take number 2.
Oh shit! Here we go.
You and I, and Arnold, and sometimes Hector, and sometimes Scott.
Yeah.
We praise the opportunity that's available to the women to do as much or everything that the men can do.
Okay.
We got 2 Royal Rumble matches. We got 2 Hell in a Cell matches. We got 2 fucking belts. We got 2 of everything. I get it. But do they have to do everything?
You talk about the North American women's title?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I missed all of that. I was definitely in the kitchen cooking when that one was going on.
This isn't coming from a negative space. But there was one moment in that women's ladder match where Lash Legend took that spot from the top of the ladder outside out of the ring where there was a ladder laid out, and she like smacked hard on her fucking hip and then rolled over face down. She didn't do shit after that. In that moment, the Andrew Tate in me was like, what the fuck are we doing here, man? They don't need to take fucking bumps like that. This isn't Raw or SmackDown. This is a pay-per-view in front of 100 people. Like, why are you making the rookies do fucking spots like that? I felt legitimately bad for the person that plays Lash Legend.
Okay.
Not the character on the telly. Like, there's such thing as X-Pac heat, whatever the equivalent of Lash Legend sympathy is what I felt for her. Because I'm like, why do you got to do this shit, man? Like, you don't. I understand you want them to do as much of the men's thing as you can, but you can't tell me that you had a banger with Jordan and Roxy, with Jordan Grace and Roxy, that didn't involve any of that stupid shit. You know what I mean? To a lesser extent, which I'm going to dive into in my next bone of contention, Lola Vice and Shayna Baszler. What was in the ring was great. You didn't need the other dumb shit. Like, I don't think you could have done like an elimination gauntlet and none of the women would have left fucking with like the threat of injury. Especially Lash Legend, who's been actually the best she's been since she's been in Metaphor, is the best her character was. I think back to her character in the beginning where she had the talk show and all that stuff, and it went fucking nowhere. And they were trying to pair her up with some other girl, and that went fucking nowhere. And then she grouped up with Metaphor, and she has a fucking personality. And the 4 of them are actually entertaining in a comedic heel level. And then the stuff with her and Trick, I was like, oh, okay, this is a new twist, And then all of a sudden, she got to land on her fucking hip on a ladder, and fucking, if she's injured, she's out. I don't know if she is. We don't normally record on Tuesday, so NXT's happening right now. I don't know what the fuck is going on telly. But there's certain things I don't think that I'd go to a further extent and say even the guys, you don't want to fucking shorten their careers before they even get to the fucking main roster by doing a lot of this stupid video game like stipulation shit without in front of like an indie crowd. Yeah. Save that shit for 15,000 in front of an arena, or WrestleMania night 1 in the middle. Or if something were to happen, well, you get 6 months off. You still get your great WrestleMania payday. You get time to heal. Like, what's the point of doing crazy ass shit like that last Sunday? Like, there was a lot of cool stuff in that ladder match, but once that happened, like, my desire to be entertained by the rest of it completely went away. Like, it took me out of the match completely. You gonna do a ladder match? Have your first ladder match be on a pay-per-view for Raw, or SmackDown.
So, in response to your hot take, you're wrong.
Please tell me why I'm wrong.
Well, first saying that it's at an indie show in front of 100 people is not accurate. Yeah, maybe they're at wherever they were,
500.
full sale, whatever it is. Yeah,
UFC
but,
Apex.
Okay, wherever the fuck they were, right? That's right, they were at the UFC arena. Wherever they were, yeah. That may be a smaller audience, but that's not just what they're playing to. They're playing to the dummies like us sitting at home watching it over the Peacock, right? Mm-hmm. And that's in the thousands. Aside from main roster WWE, that's going to be probably one of the biggest audiences that you're going to get in North America. Yes, AEW included, because NXT sometimes outpaces AEW, you know. So if you're okay with AEW doing crazy shit, you should be okay with NXT doing crazy shit. And the first part of it, you were saying that it was more like because it's the women doing it than like, oh, I wouldn't want to see the women do that, this and that, blah, blah, blah. But then towards the end, you did mention, well, I don't think I'd even want the guys to do that. Okay, fine. If you're equating it, then I would say, okay, you're fine. That's valid. If you're on the lower levels, kind of save it, put it few and far between. As Scott says in the live chat, he says, too many tournaments, too many battle royals, too many ladder matches. Okay, cool. I get that. But if it's just because they're women, they shouldn't be doing crazy spots that made you fall in love with Jeff Hardy back in the day, you know, doing crazy spots that made you be like, oh, wow, Mankind got thrown off of got thrown off of the Hell in Cell. Oh, wow, it's crazy. You don't think Lash Legend deserves an opportunity to make a name? I'm not saying, oh, Lash Legend is the next McFoley. Please don't. But I'm saying, if you don't think that they deserve an opportunity to make a name just because they're women, get the fuck out of here.
Do they need to go to that extent to make the name?
Well,
like I mentioned earlier, did Jordan and Roxanne have to go to that extent to make that a banger?
They didn't. And that's where I'm trying to dissect what you're saying, right? If you're saying because they're women, they shouldn't do the crazy shit, you're wrong. But if it's, hey, none of the rookies, whether it's a man or a woman, should not do the crazy shit, okay, fine, that kind of makes sense. But if fucking Obafemi could do some crazy ass bump, but Lash Legend can't, why? But if you're saying, hey, Obafemi and Lash Legend at the NXT level should like hold back until they get to the main roster, okay, that's understandable.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. What will happen first in NXT and A? The North reunites or the Rascals reunite? Thank you, whoever is playing Front Row Negative tonight. Again, I'm pretty sure it's Aaron.
Why not both?
At the same time? The question was, what happened first?
It's incomplete because I believe in Joe Henry, which is probably the right answer. It's Aaron, so that's the right answer. You know what? Because of the lack of flash in the work of the North, I might have taken them for granted. It's easier to see the differences in the Rascals and their gimmick of like that 70s show. They're all getting high the backstage when they're all on the table and they do the whole spoof. There was a lot more substance to the characters as a team and the characters individually, as opposed to AEW's mentality of the North put great matches. You need to like the North more.
Yeah.
If it's A&E, if it's AEW, you're pushing for the North. If you're WWE, you're pushing for the Rascals.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. So I would prefer the Rascals, but I wouldn't be mad at a reuniting of the North.
A reuniting of the North, if it means something, would be cool for me. Like if it's like, oh, the Forbidden Door, one time only, them eyeing each other, and that's it, like teasing something, no. But if it's like, oh, hey, they're together and like having fun, well, that is better suited for the Rascals.
You've been watching TNA around that time more than I have, obviously, because you've already picked the North as your team. Did they have that traditional pro wrestling trope split where they fought each other at the end? or did they just split their?
I believe that they had a heel turn. I think it was Adam Page or Ethan Page. Yeah, Ethan Page had the heel turn, I believe.
Huh. Okay.
Scott says, "Say his name," and he appears. Arnold in live chat says, "Chris, next time you'll win, and the luchador will lose their mask. Got to be better." He means your hair.
Yeah. I had a good run. Hot take number 3.
Oh, full of hot takes tonight. What's hot take number 3?
Shayna Baszler and Lola Vice had the wrong match.
What do you mean?
So NXT tends to cater a lot to the indie audience. You know, the guys that like the indie wrestling. It's 3D chess when it comes to all the people in NXT. I think I've made that statement before. Shayna was at Bloodsport WrestleMania weekend, and she had a match against Masha Slamovich, if I'm not mistaken. And Baszler won, and they did that shoot fight kind of thing where there's no ropes and they just have the poles, and they usually keep it in the ring and do like the grapple and the MMA stuff. Chef's kiss to whoever came up with the idea, because they were in the UFC Apex, that in the hallway they had all the jerseys framed of all the Ultimate Fighter seasons and their roster. Yeah. They had Ronda Rousey's, and they showed that Shayna Baszler was on her team for that season. Yeah. I was like, dude, that's fucking awesome. That's a good way to build the hype. And I saw the clip today of Lola Vice and Bellator. She was knocking out people, and she was doing the whole ass shaking thing before it was even cool on NXT. Mm-hmm. The stuff I saw in the ring in that NXT Underground match was probably a 10. Watered down by all the dumb shit that happened outside the ring.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
There was some real dumb shit that happened outside the ring that I couldn't suspend my disbelief enough.
Yeah.
You either go all out and have the MMA style shoot fight between the girls and let them have a little fun, let them work shoot a little bit if you already know what the finish is and how the finish is going to be, and give them 7 or 8 minutes to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been cool. But the dumb shit that happened outside the ring, the going through the aisleway after like 45 seconds and throwing themselves over each other, trying to do a spot on the table, Shayna overselling and late selling when she got thrown into the stairs, and then all of a sudden her neck doesn't fucking work anymore. The stupid little roll from the ankle lock into Shayna running into the post in the corner, that stuff was fucking dumb. But the grappling and the escapes and the workarounds, the actual shoot shit that was in the ring, I liked it a lot. When I say they had the wrong match, it's fucking UFC. If you're not going to use an actual octagon, use the fight pit. Fight pit would have been perfect. You still have opportunities on that top level, so you can do some wrestling style spots, but you still have the stuff on the floor where they can grapple and they can throw each other around, maybe grind their face into the cage a little bit. Mm-hmm. Have the ref go, you 5 seconds, you can't keep your feet on the cage or whatever to try to hold momentum. Right. You could have done a lot more. I think those two girls would have benefited a lot more by having that cage confine them, so that they could keep the buffoonery to a minimum and keep your suspension of disbelief suspended enough that you could actually enjoy the match for what it was.
Yeah,
that's why I'm torn, because I wanted to like that match so much more than I do, because the stuff that I liked, I loved, and the stuff that I didn't like, I hated.
So,
did you happen to catch any of that match?
I actually did catch a good chunk of that match,
and I think the right person won, by the way.
But, fair. Yeah. I caught a good chunk of the match, and most of the match that I caught is midway through to the end. I missed some of the beginning, and I am going to do something kind of rare here. You and me and Arnold all completely agree on this match.
Yikes!
Yeah.
Whoa.
We all agree on this. Arnold said, "Oh, Lions Den match. I love the idea. The finish, it wasn't executed very well. You didn't bring up that point. No. I agree with him on that point. The finish itself, good idea. It wasn't executed very well. The dumb shit outside, the buffoonery, as you say, it was dumb and I hated it. Like, when I happened to look up and when I happened to start paying attention after I knew what was happening over there, okay, they're shoot fighting. Okay, this is gonna be kind of cool.
Shayna selling the knee.
When it finally first got my undivided attention, it happened to be when Shayna was going up to the announce table and was shoving stuff off of the announce table, and I was like, that's not fucking MMA shit.
Yeah,
that's WWE shit. This is WWE shenanigans. This is wrestling. This isn't what? No, huh? Why? And I was like, oh man, they're not executing this at all. And they're doing more like the fucking people that are around ringside. They weren't security. They were spectators or whatever that were banging on the canvas. When they started getting decked for no reason.
Yeah, that too. Like,
why?
What the fuck? Yeah.
Why?
Again. Yeah.
1, why were they even there? 2, why were they even attacking Shayna? And 3, why was Shayna fighting back against them and knocking them out one by one?
Yeah.
Like, what? It made no sense. So, yeah, all of that shit was dumb. But when they were actually trying to grapple and shoot wrestle without the ropes in the fight pit, with it being a little dark, it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I agree. It should have been a what do they call that? Pit fight?
Yeah, fight pit.
Fight pit, or like Arnold said, the Lion's Den.
Yeah.
One of those two. Yeah, that would have been way better. Get rid of that outside bullshit shenanigans where you tried to sports entertain it up. Now, I'm not hating on it just because it's sports entertainment. I'm hating on it because that's not what was advertised. What was advertised in this match?
There's been some dumb, crazy shit in the NXT Underground matches, or further behind the Raw Underground matches, in that vein.
Right. But that's not what this match was supposed to be.
And it wasn't, because you had two talented fighters with backgrounds that warranted them being in an atmosphere that played up to that strength, because that was what the story was telling in the beginning.
Yeah.
From when Lola beat Natalya in NXT Underground on the NXT episode leading up to this match with Baszler. Like, I was expecting this and I got that.
Yeah.
It completely threw me off.
Yeah.
Now, can they make it up to me? Sure. In a weird ass backwards kind of way. Have both of them legit fight on a UFC card.
Well,
we saw what it looks like on a Triple H's nose. Let's see what it looks like on a Dana's nose.
All right.
You know? Or if they wind up doing a rematch later on, because understandably that fight pit is a bit cumbersome in general. And if you're gonna have it in a confined space like the Apex, where rumors with a Z on the internet has it that a lot of the NXT talent weren't too happy with the script space as opposed to what they're used to on NXT television or in bigger arenas. If you're gonna run it back in the summer, what is it? What did we go to last year? Great American Bash. Probably put it in an arena, do the fight pit in Great American Bash, have that be the co-main event.
Yeah.
You know? Lola's promising. I like her stuff in the ring. She's got a gimmick, which is her shaking her ass. She's used it in MMA, so that's something unique to her. Now she has some credibility because she's beaten a former 2-time NXT Women's Champ. I wouldn't mind seeing her with the belt in the next 6 or 9 months. You can tell the story enough, and she can cut a decent promo. Like I think she has everything she needs to make it to the main roster.
Yeah.
So that was the other reason why I was fully invested in that match when I was watching it, because there's a lot of Lola's charisma and personality that reminds me of 4 Horsewomen Shayna. That was such a beast when she was running shop in NXT. So that was probably, for all its negatives, that might have been my match of the night.
Okay.
Yeah. That's something that exceeded my expectations, as opposed to, I know how good the open match was going to be. I knew how solid the trick match was going to be. I pretty much knew how good the women's match was going to be, you know? So.
Aaron, which again, we're assuming it's Aaron, says in the live chat, Shayna needs to team up with Ken Shamrock or Dan Sweat-Stain Severn. To do what?
So they showed background footage. You have to be a diehard UFC fan, because there's like 12 different weight classes and all shapes and sizes of guys. I had no idea who the fuck any of those people were that they were highlighting. from the UFC flag that was at that show. I agree with Aaron. Or front row. Severn, Shamrock. If I know it's a long shot. I mean, if Rousey wasn't out on bad terms with the company, he could have showed them sparring somewhere, just to run it back, to add more flavor to the callback of the jersey shot before the match started.
Arnold says, I only knew the Mexican guy, Brandon.
Yeah, first Mexican-born UFC champ, regardless of weight class.
His name is Brandon?
Yeah.
Brandon. He says that his match of the week pick was Roxy versus Jordan Grace. They both looked like $1 million. Mm-hmm. It was a good match. Yeah. You don't agree?
This is gonna suck to say.
I mean, we kind of already talked about the match a little bit.
I'll probably get shit for it.
Uh-oh.
Name me a match in professional wrestling in the last 12 months where the outsider won.
Oh, yeah.
Even with my fantasy booking of, okay, Roxy beat the TNA Knockouts champ. Roxy should go to Slammiversary and get a rematch, but this time for Jordan's belt. And guess what? Jordan's going to beat her. So where's the... I mean, if it's all exhibition and no one's ever going to do it, there's not going to be anything surprising. Like Jordan Grace taking the fucking NXT title to Impact for a while. Yeah, that could have benefited the brand. Is it benefiting the brand right now that Jordan was 25 minutes in the Rumble, or that Jordan lost again?
Yeah,
NXT. Like what? I mean, did it benefit Brooke? I mean, Ash by Elegance.
I had no fucking clue who that was when she came out. I was like, this is somebody from fucking Impact. Okay, I have no idea who the fuck this is. And Ash by Elegance. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, who the fuck is... Wait, whoa. That's Dana Brooke? Yeah, she looks completely different. Yeah.
Besides the 2 pay-per-views, there's one other match I saw that got my attention a lot. It was Will Ospreay's first defense of the title, of the international title.
Okay.
Ospreay versus Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah.
That was what I wanted Shayna Baszler and Lola Vice to be.
Oh.
That was fucking brilliant. If it was on pay-per-view in front of the Tokyo Dome, we would be arguing right now that it would be a match of the year candidate.
Okay.
Really good stuff. Really good.
And this was on Dynamite?
Collision.
Oh, fuck.
Collision.
That's why I didn't know about
it. I watched Collision. You know what? I did something even worse.
What?
I've done a lot of bad things in my life.
Yeah, you have.
I've done drugs. I've broken up marriages.
Your own.
My own. I watched Rampage.
You watched Rampage.
I watched Rampage.
Okay.
Mina Shirakawa.
All right.
I had to see what Mina Shirakawa was all about. And I would like someone to hug me the way she's been getting hugged and she hugs Mariah May. Because I get it. I can fuck with that. That's good stuff.
Okay.
They're building up to Shirakawa versus Toni Storm at Forbidden Door for Toni Storm's title. And Mariah's right in the middle. It's actually one of the very few well-developed storylines in AEW right now. Hook or crook, whether you like the women's division or have your opinion of 60s Toni Storm. Like, it's entertaining, and I watch it, and I'm so entertained that I'm watching the ancillary shit just so I can keep up with what's going on. That's all. Mariah May's having this match on Collision, or was it Dynamite? And Tony's on commentary. He's like, Shivani, it's AEW where the breasts wrestle.
I heard that. Yes, yes.
Chin, tits, shoe. Fuck. Toni Storm and fucking Serena Deeb. Booking was horrible. The crowd was cheering Tony the entire time. I had a laugh. It was fucking good. That was worth it.
Arnold says Io versus Lyra.
Lyra. I need to watch that.
Is that happening?
That happened. I think that happened last night.
Did it?
And apparently I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. Last week, Braun Breaker and Ricochet put on a banger. And then last night,
Braun versus Dragunov?
Braun versus fucking Dragunov.
Yeah,
I'm going to have time in the airport to watch this shit tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm definitely going back to watch Braun versus Drago.
All right.
I've heard some good shit about that. Yeah. And they killed Ricochet. He's going back to his home planet.
Yes.
Let's talk about that for a minute.
All right.
Where should he go?
I don't know, but I tell you where he shouldn't go. He shouldn't go to AEW.
Agreed.
Yeah. He shouldn't go to AEW. That kind of makes the pickings a little bit slimmer, because then, okay, TNA? Japan? Maybe? Mexico? Maybe? Like, where does he go?
I'm gonna give a quick shout out to Hector here.
All right, what's up, Hector?
Know where I'm going with this. He's not even in there. I'm just
Samantha ran in heels. She sure did.
I'm just thinking about him because it's been a minute since
he's dragging that wagon.
Since he's been on the show. New Japan right now is starving for main event talent that people give a shit about.
Okay.
Do you know who's in the main event picture right now?
Sonata? Is that it? Just Sonata?
Is that the only name that comes up?
Yeah.
Well,
Takahashi?
Tanahashi is the old guy. Takahashi is the cruiserweight.
Yeah, Takahashi.
Yeah,
no? Okay.
You forgot about your Lord and Savior, John Moxley, because they have his face on every fucking segment in Dynamite.
Oh, yeah.
He's in the main event picture. Apparently, him and Naito are running it back at Forbidden Door for the IWGP title. Naito. But who cares? Right now, who cares about Naito enough to watch New Japan?
I don't.
Narita?
Who?
Narita, one of the new guys that's up and comer in the main event picture. Ibushi still has 2 broken legs. King Ricochet could bring up that division a little bit. Sorely needed in New Japan. It would be a huge detriment to New Japan if they see King Ricochet and they throw him back in the juniors division. You don't go to WWE and tour around the world and get name recognition and win the coveted Speed title just to be back in the cruiserweight division in New Japan. I think it would be in New Japan's best interest to have him as a main event player. I would actually have him beat Moxley or Naito, whoever the two end up leaving Forbidden Door with the belt. And you will get a lot of fans talking about New Japan again. Because for all its faults or all its positives a few years ago or months ago, it sure ain't the Finley kid. It ain't Bullet Club. You know, their roster's getting poached. They're going to AEW. Just in the last year and a half.
Yeah.
Their main event talent was Will Ospreay, was Jay White, was Okada.
Mm-hmm. And where are they now?
In AEW.
In the mid-card.
In the mid-card.
Yeah.
So you need something with name value, with household value to bring that up. And Ricochet might be the guy. Now, because he's in New Japan and he's a main event talent, you can flirt the idea of Ricochet versus Ospreay without having to sign Ricochet and pay him all the fucking money and just to burn him out after 6 weeks or 7 or 4 months and be in the mid card with AEW. Oh, it's AEW Trios title. So it's going to be the AEW Rapido title.
El Rapido.
Yeah. To everyone but Samantha Irvin. So it would be in New Japan's best interest and AEW's best interest also to have Ricochet as in your main event roster for New Japan. Have that brand actually make a damn in the next 9 to 12 months. Next year's Forbidden Door, you might be talking about New Japan again. You know, right now, what are we talking about New Japan right now in Forbidden Door? Shirakawa, Stardom. Okay, understandable. Stephanie Vaquer, Arnold's favorite because he knows her photographer or something. But she's from CMLL, not New Japan. Mm-hmm. Who cares about Naito right now? Mm-hmm. As we love Zack Sabre Jr. Have we been watching any New Japan lately because Zack Sabre Jr. is in it? No. Are we watching the watered down United States version because Zack Sabre Jr. is on it? Okay. He's wrestling Orange Cassidy. He's challenged Orange Cassidy for Forbidden Door. So are we going to be watching New Japan television to see the build up to Zack Sabre Jr. versus Orange Cassidy?
Probably not.
Probably not. No. Okay. Tanahashi, legend. Are we watching New Japan right now for Tanahashi?
No.
Okay. Who's left? El Phantasmo. We like El Phantasmo. The light of glasses. Yeah. He's got personality. Yeah. He's pretty good in the ring. Oh, we're watching El Phantasmo. No. Could you name 10 wrestlers on the New Japan roster right now?
No.
That's a fucking problem, bro.
Okay.
I would have Stephanie Vaquer. Okay. Why aren't we doing Forbidden Door, AEW versus CMLL? Oh, wait. Because we've been getting that shit for free for 2 months against Blackpool Combat Club. And Blackpool Combat Club's beating them all back over the wall. Yeah. So why do we need to watch any of them again?
Yeah.
Side note, we need to make some time on one of these episodes.
Hechicero. Oh, love that guy.
Yeah. Name 10 people on the CMLL roster. Hechicero. That's 4. Vaquer.
Mystico.
6.
Or Mysticis? No, Mystico.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The other one.
Yeah.
So,
and MJF challenged Okada apparently.
I don't know why, but Aaron is referring to Ricochet as Ricochet. But he says,
all right, Cornette.
Evil versus Ricochet. Finlay versus Ricochet. And he says Zack Sabre Jr. is boring. He also says Aaron probably could name 10 New Japan wrestlers. Well, then do it. Arnold said Perro Aguayo.
Oh, he's talking about the dad.
Yeah.
Hijo's dead.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yeah. Pronouns, pal.
Yeah.
I
think that would be article, not a pronoun, but whatever.
Do you think Becky Lynch is going to come back to WWE, or you think she's going to go to AEW, or you think she's going to just stay home being mom?
She's going to be a mom for a little bit, but then she's going to...
And nurse for Rollins.
Yeah, she's going to come back to WWE soon. She's just taking some time off.
Yeah. They signed Gable also at the last minute. Here's a shocker for you. Gable Steveson is actually going to play for the Buffalo Bills.
I saw that news. What the hell? Okay.
It was like about, 60 days ago that he got let go by WWE?
I mean, I get it. I get it that he is a world-class athlete. You know, I totally understand. But to just up and change sports like that? I'm sorry. What are the Buffalo Bills thinking? You know, like, okay, I get it. He might be a really great wrestler, but that doesn't mean he's going to be a good football player. Michael Jordan was the best basketball player of all time. He's kind of a shitty baseball player. Yeah. So, I mean, okay. I guess.
How many weeks will you keep up with the Bills just to see him actually do something?
Oh, 0. Hell no.
How many weeks?
Not watching the Bills?
How many weeks would you keep up with the Texans if he was third string linebacker?
None. I don't give a fuck about Gable Steveson being on the Texans. I watched the Texans this year just because they're supposed to be good, but I wouldn't be watching them for fucking Gable Steveson. Fuck, I wasn't
Steveson, not Steven.
Oh yes, well whatever. I didn't watch fucking NXT for him, and I watch NXT sometimes.
I watched to boo him against Corbin.
He just happened to be on my TV one Raw, and that's it. I didn't tune into Raw to watch him.
And we bought tickets for NXT TakeOver that one time that he just happened to be there, and we all booed him.
Yeah. We fucking booed him. The one time he came out and he was supposed to be a babyface.
Yeah.
We booed him.
And not the Kurt Angle booing, the X-Pac booing.
This is why he went away.
Yeah.
See, it was because of me and you booing him and Rosenberg that led to him going to
Austin.
Buffalo Bills. It was Rosenberg. Was it?
No, that was Great American Bash, NXT, Austin.
Oh, okay.
Rosenberg was Dynamite, Sting's retirement.
Yeah.
This weekend, Clash at the Castle, Scotland. Scott the Scott from Scott's Home Scott.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are you going to be watching it? Your AC's fixed?
Mm-hmm.
You still have the cock?
Mm-hmm.
You're off?
When is it?
This Saturday at 10 a.m.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Fruit Loops and wrestling.
Yeah.
Just like the old days.
Yeah. Cereals, too.
Chad Gable versus Sami Zayn, 1-on-1 for the Intercontinental title.
My anticipation level is a 7.
Okay. 6.
All right.
Is this shit or get off the pot for Chad Gable? Or
yes. Chad kind of has to win this. If Chad doesn't win this, he's got to get off the pot. I'm done with Chad Gable if he doesn't win this. Whether he's a heel or babyface or whatever. If you want to take him serious, this is the one time that, well, not the one time. This is probably the last chance for anybody to take him serious.
Yeah. Agreed.
Now, is he gonna win? Hell no. Sami Zayn's retaining.
Do you consider this Sami Zayn Intercontinental run to be memorable?
Not particularly, not yet.
Is this the best Sami Zayn you've seen in the last 3 years?
No.
2 years?
Usi Sami Zayn, honorary Us, who should have beat Roman Reigns, would have been the best, and is still the best Sami Zayn that we've seen. Still in a losing effort against Roman Reigns, he was still better than what he is now.
Is it in his best interest to lose the title?
No. He can still do more with that title. This run is still kind of young.
Who's next then? If he's done with Chad Gable,
I don't know. Whatever other mid-carder. Tucky. Why not let Tucker solidify himself as being on Team Gable, and Tucker is the one that's gonna. Why do I keep saying Tucker?
Otis.
I mean Otis. The fuck? Tucker's been gone for Tucker's been gone for like a year or 2 years. Arnold says 7. Chad needs to go over.
Yeah.
Cruz brothers cost Sammy the title.
Who? Oh, there we go. Brothers Cruz.
Okay.
Yeah. Creed brothers, not Cruz.
Yeah.
Creed brothers.
Sammy hasn't been feeling very oozy lately.
Holy shit. Chad Gable and the fucking Creed brothers. Okay. Yeah. They're winning.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got him winning. They just added this recently. We'll touch it. We'll touch on it for a moment. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill in a triple threat match against Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, and Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark for the Women's Tag Team Championship. I'm gonna start first.
Go ahead.
I don't think this match is gonna happen.
Well, while you're saying what you're saying, I'm gonna grab us some more water.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Good luck going through over all that.
I know, right?
Scrolling through my Facebook today, I saw a clip of a news story. Alba Fire's mother,
Yes,
hit and run in Orlando, crossing the street, and she didn't make it.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I don't think that they're going to be in the match. And this, I know the timing is going to be horrible, but they have the most Attitude Era-ish characters, the two of them. They dress provocatively. They do a lot of things together where you're just like, whoa, yeah. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill for the muscle. Baszler and Zoe Stark for the shoot fight, technical prowess. Dawn and Fire for like the bruteness. You know, they're pretty stiff for their strong style way, and they're both they show off their attractiveness as a positive. I'm not sure if the match is going to happen because of Fire's situation. Obviously so, rightfully so. I don't know if they're going to replace them with someone else or if Belair and Cargill and Baszler and Stark alone would be enough to carry a match. I know they're going to be in Scotland. They want to represent. It's like UFC now. You go to Brazil, all the Brazilians fight. You go to Germany, all the Germans fight. You go to UK, all the British people fight. So to represent the country. So a lot of this stuff, there's a lot of this cards that way. But it wouldn't surprise me if it doesn't happen. I understand it. So if it were to happen, I'd be at an 8. And we might get into a problem booking-wise if Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill are winning multi-team matches. Who's going to be the singular team to dethrone them for the belts? You're going to have a booking issue if you continue to make matches like this.
Yeah.
So hopefully this is hopefully the last one before they figure out a team to actually take the belts off of them. I've got Belair and Cargill retaining. It's going to be a lot. There's a lot of hometown matches here, and I don't think any of the hometown people are winning.
Okay.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Thanks, by the way, for one.
Yeah. I think
condolences.
Yeah.
Fire's
yeah. Condolences, definitely. I don't think that they're going to make it to the actual show. They might physically be there, but I'd be very surprised if she was wrestling Alba. I'd be very, very surprised. So yeah, I think it's
replace Fire with Valkyria. She's a hometowner.
Okay.
Near the area.
Maybe that could happen. Step in. But what I really think will happen is that it'll just be just 2-on-2. Yeah, then that's it. And then of course Bianca and Jade will retain. Mm-hmm. My anticipation level for it, 5. It'd be more if we were going with the original, but now it's like, oh man, I kind of don't really want to see it even, And
it's one thing for if the booking storytelling, you have already gotten Cargill and Belair for the next 2 or 3 months as champion, but does a sympathy swap make sense for the viewer watching on television? To give the belts to Fire and Dawn for a week or 2, does that make enough sense booking wise?
This is gonna sound bad, especially since I was sticking up for the women's division a little bit earlier in the show. This is gonna sound really bad, but bro, it's the women's tag team title. Who gives a shit? Yeah, they could hot shot the title for a little bit. Why the fuck not? Yeah. You get the feel good home crowd, like you said, the sympathy by proxy because of the thing. If they actually, made it to the match, have them win, sure.
Bayley versus Piper Niven for the women's world title.
Oh,
WWE world title.
Yeah. Damn. That I'm gonna say I'm at like a 7. I want to be at like an 8 or even more. If I felt like the build was a little bit better, 1, and if 2, I didn't believe with my whole heart that Piper's not winning this. Just because it's a hometown for this one, I don't think that they're gonna take the title off of Bayley like that. No.
7, I have Bayley winning.
Okay.
Here's an interesting one. Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre for the men's world heavyweight title.
So I think that this is where you might be wrong. This might be where we might actually have the hometown person win it. I think Drew might actually take this. It may seem like it's a little early to take it off of Damian, but remember how he won it. This is a Money in the Bank cash-in title run. Money in the Bank cash-in title runs aren't always necessarily meant to be the title run that's going to solidify you. It's the one that actually puts you in the main event picture so that people get used to you being in the main event picture. So, he has time now to legitimately, quote unquote, win the world title. without it being like a Money in the Bank fluke. And yeah, throw it on Drew. Why? Drew's been earning it. And then Scott says something in the chat. And Scott and Arnold are kind of going back and forth. Scott says, Drew is a face now. Arnold said, you just think that because he's Scottish. Scott says, he was getting cheers on Raw. Arnold goes, yeah, that's wild. I think he's supposed to be a heel, but he's a sympathetic heel. Scott goes, plus Pat McAfee called him a big, handsome bastard from Scotland.
He was talking about you, Scott.
Yeah, you're a big, handsome bastard from Scotland, Scott.
Spoiler alert. When we do our year in the review, our rivalry of the year will be Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. Punk is gonna
Dingy was next to the bowl, and that made it amplify.
Punk is gonna fuck him again in his home country.
Okay.
So guess what happens?
What happened?
Drew is gonna be on the injured list again.
Oh.
While Punk wrestles in the Money in the Bank. And just when Punk is about to grab the briefcase, someone lied about their injury status. And we get the final fucking match in SummerSlam, their first match of the rivalry, Punk and McIntyre. To get there, we got to rewind a little bit here, and Drew's going to get screwed out of the belt again.
Okay.
How pissed will Drew be if he gets screwed out of the belt 2 times in a row in his home country? That's really going to drive him nuts.
Okay.
Oh, and it's this pipsqueak Pepsi boy? Fuck that. Oh, that's going to... Oh.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
No homies are winning in fucking Scotland. None.
Okay.
None. I've got fucking Priest winning.
Punk cost Drew the title. That's hilarious. Okay.
Yeah.
Scott says if Drew doesn't win, he will riot. It's gonna be a one-man riot.
And he's sick.
And you're sick.
Yeah. His riot's gonna be and then go to bed.
Yeah.
Rhodes versus Styles in an I Quit match. Is now the time for Cody to lose the belt?
No.
My thought exactly.
Nay, I say. Nay.
Does that mean you're at a 4 for this match because you know he's not losing?
No.
Where are you?
6.
Okay.
It's still going to be a banger.
Was it that light blue suit and his homage to Mark Henry?
Yes. Yes.
I bet it was.
It's still going to be a banger. Still going to be a banger of a match.
I would like to think that the pay-per-view ends with Priest and McIntyre. Well, technically, the pay-per-view is going to end with CM Punk. His music playing while McIntyre's wallowing in the muck of his own avarice, wondering why he keeps getting screwed in his hometown for all these fucking title shots.
Yeah.
But their match was pretty good at in Lyon, France. I kind of don't like that they had to throw Logan Paul in between if the rivalry was going to continue to be Styles and Rhodes.
All right. That's fair.
An intelligent heel will learn from The Rock and take the recording of Cody Rhodes yelling, I quit on SmackDown and play it over the speakers so that he wins the title when fans are wondering, how did Cody say I quit when he's got tape over his mouth that he's knocked unconscious?
Yeah.
You know, find a way to fuck him. You know, you got plenty of time between now and Royal Rumble to put the belt back on Cody just in time, just so that you can have Cody versus The Rock title for title at WrestleMania. And by title for title, it's the WWE title against the People's Champ title.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah. All right.
I hate to say it,
but
for all the work that AJ Styles has done to better himself physically, I'm at the Chad Gable level with him. If he doesn't win the title now, then what?
Oh,
are you going to send him to TNA as a gift for a bit?
Maybe. I do think AJ Styles' best days are behind him.
Oh, no. I think he has one more run in him, even if it's short.
I don't.
You don't?
Mm-hmm.
No? Mm-hmm. He's not the face that runs the place?
He's Ziggler.
Whoa! Wow.
Yeah.
And you're not saying it as a compliment.
No.
Wow.
Yeah. He's a great wrestler. I'm not taking anything away from that. The fact that I think he'll put on a banger of a match here. But his best days, his championship winning days, his main event days, his being the face of the company days, well behind him.
Wow.
Well behind him.
5 matches. That tends to be the norm for these international pay-per-views.
Scott says, Wales isn't Scotland. Drew wins. End of story.
Nah, we'll see. I'll put $5 on it. Overall, your anticipation level for Clash at the Castle, Scotland.
I think I rated everything kind of low, but I'm actually kind of excited for this, considering it's going to be Fruit Loops and wrestling, in the morning. Wake up in the morning after sleeping in just a little bit, not too much, but sleeping in just a little bit. Wake up, watch some wrestling, get on with the rest of the day. A good kickoff to the weekend. Fuck yeah. 9.
Yeah.
9, even though I don't think I rated any one match 9.
Or 8.
Yeah.
I, unfortunately, won't have that benefit because I will be in the time zone of fucking Clash at the Castle this weekend.
Yeah, you're going to be in Amsterdam, right?
Copenhagen. The thought had crossed my mind several times so pull back the curtain. I'm going to see Metallica twice, Friday night and Sunday night in Copenhagen, in Parken Stadium. The night in between, I have nothing major planned, and I was thinking about flying to Scotland from Amsterdam or from Copenhagen to be in attendance for the show because it'd be fucking nuts. Until I saw how much the fucking tickets were. Like, no, I can't do it.
Okay.
So then
you just paid for 2 nights of Metallica. Yeah, you can't do it.
Yeah. So then I was thinking, let me aim a little bit lower. The 24 hours of Le Mans is happening that Saturday in Le Mans, France.
So what?
The 24 hours of Le Mans.
What the hell is that?
It's in the French town of Le Mans. The town gets turned into a racetrack, and there's cars that race. It's a race that's 24 hours long.
God damn. Sounds excessive.
If you're ever bored or need a movie to watch Ford versus Ferrari with Matt Damon and Christian Bale.
Scott says you could have stayed at my parents' place.
I could have stayed at your parents' place. Yeah, and hung out with your nephew. Yeah, I'm still up in the air. And then there's also a 3-hour train ride to Billund, Lego headquarters.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll figure something out. I've got a couple of days.
Right.
But yeah, so Clash of the Castle will be happening at night for me.
Oh.
So depending what I end up doing or not doing, I might just go to a pub, and if they have it on the telly, we'll see if I find any wrestling fans there that are also metalheads.
Hell yeah.
And go from there.
All right.
If I don't get a chance to watch it in live, I'm not gonna lie. There's enough in every match that I'll probably make time somewhere in between flights or in the days that I'll have off when I come back from my trip to actually watch it. I might end up watching this whole thing. Again, the other X factor is that Leon set the bar so fucking high as an audience that now that we're having a Clash at the Castle in an actual arena instead of the huge ass stadium that they had the first time, there'll probably be more opportunity to focus on the fans, and more opportunity for the fans to be ruckus and actually be heard, as opposed to the noise just going straight up and out of the stadium. It could be a fun watch. So I'm definitely going to make the effort to watch this at some point, if not Saturday, then somewhere before the next time we record. Which the next time we will be recording will be previewing Forbidden Door.
Oh,
that's at the end of the month. I think that's in 2 weeks.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
sounds good.
Before we go,
yes,
we already let out the bag what I'm doing this weekend.
Yeah,
you have anything coming up?
Well, this past Friday was Riot Wrestling Federation. So we recorded. We had a great show. It was awesome. Nice capacity crowd out there in Santa Fe, Texas. It was really cool, man. It was good. The YouTube version, which I was doing commentary for, should be out later this week. If not, maybe early next week. So please go to the Riot Wrestling Federation YouTube page and, kind of follow on there. But yeah, that's going to come out. Basically, we have the other side of the bracket to crown our first champion done. So the first one had one side of the bracket. Deuces had the second side of the bracket. We have our finals, and that's going to be August 9th. So yeah, we're going to have
another Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, another Friday. So yeah, man. Come check it out.
Any possibility of doing a ladder match involving the fire trucks ladder?
Probably not.
Damn.
Because that'd be too tall. But maybe. I don't know. I'll run it by Chevy and see what he thinks.
You have to have some kind of wicked baby face that'll actually park the truck next to the ring and use the ladder and just like fucking Donkey Kong and shit. Anything else?
That's it, man.
So I think that's a show.
That's a show. Adios, my friends. Keep it classy.
Yeah.